Hello, my friends. Welcome to your Wednesday. Good to be with you in my car, my Ash Gregoire Chamonix Nissan, in the aftermath of the Montreal Canadiens losing in a 6-3 ball game at home to visiting Arizona, who, outside of the Boston Bruins, my friends, are the hottest team in the NHL. The Bruins, by the way, 10-1-1 in their last 12 games, looking pretty good. Wondering what is up for Ben Chiarot and the Montreal Canadiens as we get that much closer to NHL trade deadline, March 21st. And Ben Chiarot is as good as gone. We know that. And if you watched the earlier episode this week, I taped with Global's Brian Wild. In the car with Star, Arturi Lekin and Ben Chiarot appear to be the only Montreal Canadian players that we can expect to be traded between now and trade deadline Monday. And of course, we'll have blanket coverage of trade deadline on Monday, live on TSN 690. And of course, my reaction immediately following any transaction the Montreal Canadiens make. The 32nd team in the National Hockey League, there are 32 teams. The Montreal Canadiens right now have the best mathematical possibility of landing the number one overall pick. And, when we talked about Shane Wright, who at Christmas time, let's call it, was the consensus number one overall pick, Shane Wright is doing some amazing things in the Ontario Hockey League and starting to put up some numbers similar to what Connor McDavid had done. So maybe we are getting closer to Shane Wright being the unanimous number one selection. We know Cole Caufield wasn't the unanimous number one selection. As a matter of fact, when Jeff Gordon was with the New York Rangers passed on Cole Caufield. And now look what's going on. Cole Caufield is on pace, my friends, for a 26-goal, 55-point season based on what he's done under Martin St. Louis in the last 15 games. It's been unbelievable. Obviously, exciting hockey last night by the Montreal Canadiens, who are out of it because Sam Montembeault is just not an NHL goaltender. And it's okay to say that. It's okay to say that's where the Canadiens are. That's their lot in life because Carey Price and Jake Allen have both been hurt for significant periods of time. Price obviously longer than Jake Allen, but it appears Allen is on the cusp of returning. And I can tell you honestly, my friends, Carey Price is working his ass off to get back to work. And if Carey Price can get back to work, even if it's the 82nd game of this year at the tail end of April, even if it's that game, friends, he'll play it. He's dying to get back. He's working his ass off to get back to work. So I just want to put that out there. I'm telling you, that's what's going on. I don't know the timeline. Nobody really knows. I don't even think Price knows the timeline. I think he has a faint idea of when he might come back, but there have been setbacks, multiple setbacks. And Sam Montembeault gets pumped on 4 goals on 7 shots, and gets the hook. C'est pas grave. Je m'en fous vraiment, man. Like, I don't care. I don't think Sam Montembeault is back next year. I don't think he should be, okay? Like, look at the New York Rangers for a second. Look at what they're doing. Chris Kreider scored his 39th goal of the year last year. Mika Zibanejad scored a goal last night. They didn't even have Shesterkin in goal. They had Georgiev in goal last night. And the New York Rangers won a hockey game. They have the best goaltender in hockey, arguably. Honorable mention to Vasilevsky. But in Shesterkin, the New York Rangers have quality goaltending. They have a Norris guy in Adam Fox. They have Chris Kreider, who's on pace for 50 goals. Kreider scored his 39th goal of the season last night. So when I tell you that Sam Montembeault sucks and that he's not an NHL goaltender and that he's a good American Hockey League goaltender, don't be offended if you're a Sam Montembeault. It's okay to understand that the best path forward for the Montreal Canadiens is Carey Price and Jake Allen as the tandem in goal next year. Now, lots of things have to happen. Guys have to stay healthy. They're not going to get moved. I don't think Jake Allen gets moved between now and Monday. At least I hope he doesn't, because I believe the formula the Montreal Canadiens have to follow in order to get back to a competitive level begins in goal and you work your way out, which brings me to Alexander Romanov. This guy, part of the group of players that has flourished under Martin St. Louis. Romanov got more than 25 minutes in a loss last night. As a matter of fact, he played over 20 minutes of even-strength hockey, and not only was he dominant, he was flat-out dominant. Arizona had a hard time generating chances when Romanov was out there on the ice. It's reason for me to tell you with confidence that Carey Price, Jake Allen has to be the tandem in goal next season, because Romanov is progressing. You're seeing this team find their groove. Cole Caufield obviously is the poster boy for what's gone on here. As I told you, he's on pace for a 26-goal, 55-point campaign based only on what he's done with Martin St. Louis, where he's got 10 goals and 19 points when he had 1 goal with Dominic Ducharme. And I don't know the answer to the obvious question of what the hell did Ducharme tell Caufield? How in the hell did he coach this kid up? How? I don't know the answer to that. But what I think I know is, why is Caufield flourishing? Why is the Canadiens' power play or special teams, lump them all in together, especially the PK, why is it so bad? Why is Caufield great? Why is the PK bad? Do you know why I think I can connect those two? And I put it on Martin St. Louis. I put it at the coach's feet. He talked and preached for a while, especially when he was introduced, that he is not a systems guy. Doesn't believe in systems, believes in who you are as a player. Go out there and be that person. And while that's fine and dandy, and it's led to some exciting hockey and a team like the Canadiens that have no quit and continue to entertain and deliver a full value 60-minute performance, it's because Martin St. Louis has allowed these guys to basically run without any rain. And I think when it comes to structure on the power play, when it comes to structure on the PK, he still has Ducharme's assistants, Luke Richardson and Burrows, right? And I think because of what's happened here, we've lost a little structure, and that's okay. This team is point-wise the worst team in hockey. And as I've been consistent in saying from the beginning, that this team needs better structure. And they're not wasting time because they're figuring things out. Figuring out that Brendan Gallagher, I don't know if he's done, but if he's not done, man, I got to think it's close. Because now it's a few games where Martin St. Louis has taken Nick Suzuki off the number 1 line with Cole Caufield and put Brendan Gallagher with Nick Suzuki. And as my pal Jonathan Epstein sent me a note yesterday, now they've put Suzuki with Gallagher so no one can feed Caufield anymore. And he's right. But what are you going to do? Brendan Gallagher is signed to a long-term contract, a borderline unmovable contract. You need Brendan Gallagher. It's a different question. Do you want Brendan Gallagher? Do you need Brendan Gallagher? Right? Two different answers there. They have Brendan Gallagher under contract. They need Brendan Gallagher to produce. They need him to be a key cog on this team as early as next year. It's all about hurrying up the process of getting this Canadiens team back to a higher level of competitive hockey. And they got to figure out whether Nick Suzuki can be that guy that can get Brendan Gallagher going, because I don't think there's a team in hockey today that looks at Brendan Gallagher's game, looks at Brendan Gallagher's contract and says, okay, I'm going to take the financial hit because I believe in the player. I don't think we're at that level yet. And it's amazing to see not only this team loses, but they're exciting to watch, and that they have average goaltending. I think we're talking about a team that has a better than 600 win percentage under Martin St. Louis. Now, Ben Chiarot was sidelined in the hockey game yesterday. He's as good as gone. Traded, done, finished. Not to say that the Canadiens won't kick tires on him as a UFA next season, and maybe he'll be back. We'll find out how much Ben Chiarot likes Montreal, how much Ben Chiarot wants to be with Montreal, and whether or not maybe he sees his future with the Montreal Canadiens next season. I believe the Canadiens are interested in bringing back Ben Chiarot, but they're very interested in trading him. The Minnesota Wild seem to be right now the most likely dance partner for the Montreal Canadiens, though the Florida Panthers seem dead set on Claude Giroux from the Philadelphia Flyers. Giroux, by the way, having a solid season. He's got like 42 points on a bad Flyers team. I mean, you talk about, my gosh, the potency, the depth at the forward position, at the center ice position with the Florida Panthers in a world where Giroux leaves Philly to go to Florida. Man, oh man, lights out. Amazing. Calgary in the mix too for Ben Chiarot. Minnesota there. Interesting to see that Colorado traded Josh Manson to the Anaheim Ducks for Drew Hellison and a second-round pick. Now, the word, and we spoke to Darren Dreger, TSN Hockey Insider, on the TSN 690 morning show, Connor McKenna and yours truly, weekdays 6 to 10 on TSN 690. Drew Hellison, by all accounts, is one hell of a prospect, a heck of a solid prospect, someone that the Montreal Canadiens could use, and whether or not that's a comp. So don't get your hopes dashed on the fact that the Canadiens didn't get a second-round pick for, or won't maybe get a second-round pick for Ben Chiarot. That could be the reality. Brian Wild of Global Montreal tells us the math shows us that a second-round pick translating into NHL success hits about 15% of the time. The Canadiens have to do better than 15% of the time if they're trading Ben Chiarot. So I don't know if the compromise is a late first-round pick and a less attractive prospect than someone like Drew Hellison, who Colorado got back in the Josh Manson trade yesterday, but there's definitely something there. I do think the Canadiens are definitely getting two pieces back. What those two pieces look like, maybe, again, that late first-round pick and maybe a not-so-solid project prospect for Ben Chiarot. And I do believe that the only other player that we can expect the Canadiens to deal between now and Monday, I'll remind you, I believe it's going to be Artturi Lehkonen. So that's where we're at. I think trade talks are starting to heat up. It's going to take one general manager, guys. It's going to take one GM to do something foolish, to do something unpredictable that forces every other GM that's in contention or wants to make a move to make a deal. So we'll see. By all accounts, I'm sure you guys saw it on Twitter yesterday. A bunch of scouts at the Bell Center watching the Habs, tracking the Habs. What are they doing? Who are they going to move? We're getting closer to that. So keep it locked in the car with Star. We'll have it covered all day, every day. As soon as the Montreal Canadiens make a move, we'll be there to dissect it, take your comments, and react together. As the season winds down, that was game number 60 last night for the Canadiens. So 22 more of these bad boys to go. Up next, though, it's the Dallas Stars at the Bell Center tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Dallas coming off a loss. Shutout loss in Toronto last night, 4-0. The Leafs, obviously, without Austin Matthews there. So looking forward to the end of this week. Better days are ahead, my friends. The weather looks great. What is it now? It's 3 degrees in my Chamonix Nissan Maxima right now. Tomorrow it's going to be 14. Friday is going to be perhaps even warmer. Rain coming on the weekend. And now we're talking about the value of daylight saving time. We are in it right now. DST is what we are in, my friends. I don't know where you guys come down on keeping the way we've always lived, so changing the clocks twice a year, fall back, spring forward, or do you want to lock it in DST Permanente style, right? So the U.S. Senate voted to keep daylight saving time permanent. Few things have to happen in order for this to be passed as law. The House has to vote on it, and the president has to sign off on it, and then it becomes law. And apparently, Quebec has already debated this, has already voted on this, and apparently Quebec and Ontario, two provinces in our country, that have already agreed to keep daylight saving time permanent. The one thing they're waiting for, the state of New York. So if this becomes law in the United States of America by November 2023, that means, I believe, we will go daylight saving time. So the time it is right now at 10:45 a.m., 2 weeks ago, it was 9:45 in the morning, we will keep it here. So that means when you drop your kids off and drive your kids to school in the months of December and January, you will be taking your kids, or maybe your kids will be walking in the dark to school. Sunrise here in Montreal in the months of December and January is anywhere between 7:25 and 7:30 in the morning. Now remember, if it goes daylight saving time permanente, that means it's 8:30 in the morning in 2023. And then January 2nd and deeper into January we go, the sunrise rises earlier and earlier and earlier. So I come from you from a selfish perspective because I do believe it falls in on the lap of what you prefer in your own life. I wake up every weekday at 3:45 in the morning to do my job at TSN 690, okay? I looked outside my studio window that overlooks Papineau Boulevard, or street, whatever it's called. It was 7:52 in the morning, and it was nice and bright outside. And I argued with my pal, Connor McKenna. I said, dude, look over your shoulder right now. Look how bleep and bright it is outside. In 2023, at this very time now, it's almost going to be midnight. So the debate is, what's your preference? More daytime in the morning, or when you leave work 4, 5, 6 o'clock, it's not midnight at 4 in the afternoon. And I have a lot of time for that argument. I get it. What works for you? What works for me? I want brightness. I want sunshine in the morning. It's when I live most of my life. I tell people all the time, you want peak Sean Starr? You want the best version of me? You get that between 5 a.m. and about 2 in the afternoon. That's the best version of me. That's when I think I'm sharp, I'm funny, I've got high energy. After 2 p.m., and the deeper the week I go, the more tired and cranky I become. So that's my honest explanation. That's what I want. So therefore, I vote to keep changing the clocks. That's my vote. Hit me up in the comments. What do you guys want to see? What do you guys want to see? Are you a team keep the clocks, or are you team daylight saving time? Hit me up in the comments. Don't forget, hit that like button. Costs you nothing. Costs me nothing. Means the world, though. In the Car with Star, presented as always by my favorite people in the world, K-Stop Gas Bar and Depanneur, Highway 138 in Ganawage. I've been telling you and warning you and warning you and warning you about the price of fuel. We are in it now. Go to K-Stop Gas Bar and Depanneur. It's right over the Mercier Bridge, Highway 138. It's in the Playground Poker parking lot. You save so much money. Do it consistently. Make it ingrained into your routine. Stop paying those big corporate fat pigs all your money. They're locally owned. The McCumber family's a great family. I personally know them. Mom, dad, the kids, deep-rooted in the community. And they run a great establishment. So why go support them? And you support me by supporting them, and I appreciate it greatly. Poutine, Vaudreuil, Dorion, of course, proud sponsors from day one. They're open Thursday through Saturday, PoutineVilleVaudreuildorion.com. I'll keep you updated on the next comedy show. We were there to see Derek Sege and friends the last time, just a couple of weeks ago. Man, it was great. You don't want to miss. It's the best kept secret in the West Island because it sells out so fast. Comedy at Poutineville, Vaudreuil-Dorion. Keep it locked in the Car with Star for the next show dates, okay? And information on how you can join the party. That's it for me, my friends. I don't know where I am. I'm at a private golf club called Valley de Richelieu, which logically would make me believe I'm in Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu. I don't know. But I passed a sign on the highway that said Saint-Basile-le-Grand. I love doing that. I remember the first time I went to New Brunswick, and I drove to New Brunswick from Quebec, and I saw Saint Louis de Haha. I mean, come on, man. We've all heard those Shabugamoo jokes and St. Louis de Haha jokes. And there it was. I saw the St. Louis de Haha sign. And I remember when I was driving here today, I saw Saint-Basile-le-Grand. I've never been to Saint-Basile-le-Grand. I've said it 1,000 times in my life. I'm sure of that. But here I am today. So Club de Golf Valley de Richelieu. I'm taking a lesson today. I'm going to hit some balls for an hour, have some lunch, take it easy. But I don't know. Am I in Saint-Jean? Am I in Sorel Tracy? I don't think I'm in Sorel. I don't think I drove that far. Took me 20 minutes from the radio station to get here. That's it, my friends. Okay. Thanks for watching. Wish me luck today. My wrist hurts. I played pickleball at Côte de Liesse, Centre Sportif Côte de Liesse yesterday. I love pickleball. I think we're going to have some pickleball challenges on this channel in the summertime. So stay tuned for that, okay? Peace.